Major pharmacies are shutting down drastically due to falling prescription reimbursements, persistent theft, I've seen you, and changing shopping habits. Now, research is showing that Black and Latino communities are suffering from this more than anyone. According to an Associated Press analysis of licensing data from 44 states, data from the National Council for Prescription Drug Programs and the American Community Survey, all of this information basically tells us that Black and Hispanic communities have fewer pharmacies per capita than predominantly white neighborhoods. I'll give you an example. A Mac pharmacy in a majority Black zip code in Cleveland, Ohio, is the only pharmacy that serves 20,000 people. So a Mac pharmacy in the suburbs might be serving 500 people, maybe 1,000 people. But in the hood in Cleveland, 20,000 people. Now, we know what this kind of desert creates, right? It creates gaps. People got to drive farther to get prescriptions. They got to drive farther to get over-the-counter medicine. You know, you just need some penicillin or whatever. They drive farther to get vaccinations. You want to get that COVID shot, you got to drive to the next town over. You can't get it done in the Heights if you in Cleveland. This is not a small thing. You know, we often talk about food insecurity and people having to go, 3, 4, 5, 10 miles to get fresh fruits and vegetables because the neighborhood doesn't have that stuff. But not having access to the pharmacy is also a key issue. And sometimes the only access you might have is a big box retailer. You got to go to Target or Walmart, which creates its own economic problems and its own financial challenges. But not being able to go to a drugstore where you can get your questions answered, where you can get your blood pressure checked, where you can get your COVID or flu shots, where you can get just some over-the-counter medicine at night because your baby, has a fever. These are the things that we have to be able to access. But because structurally, it's not in the financial best interest of the pharmaceutical industry, or really more importantly, the pharmacy business, the pharmacy industry, the retailers, because it's not in their best interest. They don't mind poor people going an extra few miles. They don't mind poor people self-medicating. We got them jokes about taking Robitussin to fix everything. Part of why we took Robitussin to fix everything was because we didn't have the money to get the drugs or the medicines, and we didn't have access to get the drugs and the medicines. But the fact that now, in 2024, the gap is getting wider again, we got to do something about it. So yeah, talk about food insecurity. Talk about the lack of fresh fruits and vegetables. Talk about the lack of community gardens. But also, while you're fighting for that, make sure you fight for supermarkets that have pharmacies, and make sure you fight for local pharmacies to stay afloat so that they're not all getting eaten alive by the retail drug stores, which then disappear when the money leaves or the white people leave. Fight for community-based pharmacies, because when you have those, you have a healthier community.